I think your analysis was very straight line. History doesn't run in a straight line.
Kid, you cannot tell your neighbor he is stealing ducks when you are stealing funds.
As High Commissioner, I was wrong. As Charandas Persaud, I reacted naturally how any person would have.
I did not come here for that kind of abuse. I did not come here for that kind of abuse. If you're going to go down that road, I'll walk off.
But it's all okay once they're talking. If they were talking, I could not have been here today.
You got ADHD.
I ain't got nothing.
Calm down.
I think I've done enough in terms of taking our team out of trouble from losing.
Come on, Lou Taylor. You got screwed. I'm reading the script now, and the first person that comes to my mind to play a detective,
Yes,
but
the
an
Guyanese critic.
erratic
Mikhail
detective,
Rodriguez.
is Mikhail Rodriguez.
Why an African slap an Indian? Why a man and slap a woman? Look, girl, how you deal with that? You deal with that.
We must encourage platforms like this because it brings together different people and allows for discussions to take place in our country on a multiplicity of fundamental issues.
Kingdom, you apologizing for something you think I did is wrong. I don't want you to do that, and you should not have done that. Hi there. Welcome to the Freddie Kissoon show with host Akash Persaud. As you would know, Akash has been with us since January and he's doing well. Akash is no stranger. He's been in the Chronicle for over a dozen years. And as you would know, if you look at the first two videos, shows that he was on, we give a little background of his history. So thanks for being with us again, Akash. As you know, Leonard Geldari is gone. Leonard Geldari has gone full out into business. He said that his business would not allow him to be a reliable participant on the show. Reliable means to come every occasion. But as I said to him, he's welcome anytime to come on the program. This evening, we have our normal calling. It's Friday, and it's not a tropical night in Guyana. So wherever you are, please call us and tell us what is on your mind or what you think is on the mind of Guyana and the world. But as you know, we do show some videos, and these videos are exclusively done to educate a nation about things that they should know about. We do not arrogate to ourselves the right, the privilege, the pomposity to show you these things. We interpret in our own limited way that these are things you should know. And when people see these things, knowledge is born and action is formed, meaning that we hope that they would act on it. Now, the first thing we want to show is something that I have written about as a columnist for over 15 years. And it's a tragic abuse of the Guyanese people. I don't know where it's going to end. I hope it is going to end. Let me show you this document, and I will read from it, and then we will deal with the implications of it. Look at this document. Now bring up the part that says, look at that. It has my daughter's name, Kavita Farah Kissoon. Look at the amount, go up, Akash. Look at the amount of money that is payable as total premium, 3,500. Now let's look at the license number of the car. It's PHH. That's somewhere there. Look at the left hand, look, PHH 6680. That's a 35-year-old car. and the premium is 3,500. Now look what my daughter has to do to renew her 35-year-old car at a yearly cost of 3,500. Akash, go up and please read this, viewers. Read the nonsense that goes on in this country. You are required to submit a recent proof of address in the form of a utility bill or bank statement. Your personal confidential information, the money you have in the bank, you're supposed to submit that to a GCIS clerk, as well as 2 forms of identification. Keep that on the screen, Akash. Look at the top left of the screen. My daughter's car is PHH 6688. The premium is 3,500. Look it on the right side of your screen. That's the yearly premium. Now, look what my daughter has to go through to renew her insurance license, of which no driver in Guyana has the option of opting out by law. You are required to submit a recent proof of address in the form of a utility bill, which meaning every driver in Guyana is on GPL customer list. So what happens when your kids live in the same house with you and they don't have a utility bill? If you don't have a utility bill, a bank statement, do you know how personal a bank statement is? And you will show a clerk that statement that says what is your asset in the bank and 2 forms of identification. I hope you are reading this because it's a tragedy in Guyana. And let me tell you why it's a tragedy now. And I am not going to mince my word. So here we go. You know, could we take that off?
Yeah.
You know, in journalism, there are words you don't want to use. One of the words you don't use in journalism, it's permitted, it's jackass, to call someone a jackass. But in political debate, it is used. On social media, which is what the platform we have, it is used. Let me tell you what the bankers in this country and the association, the insurance bigwigs, they do not understand the Anti-Money Laundering Act. It's a huge piece of legislation that is very complicated. These jackasses that run the banking system and the insurance system, I repeat, these jackasses that run the banking system and the insurance company, these multi-million billionaires who take home 5,000-10,000 a month because they're bank managers, they do not understand the Anti-Money Laundering Act. So what they did, all these bankers and insurance people, check their qualifications. They're accountant, they study banking, or they study business administration. They don't know nothing about law, so they don't understand the Anti-Money Laundering Act. So guess what they did? They issued instructions to the insurance companies and the banks. Everybody that come to the bank, let them meet the requirement of the Anti-Money Laundering Act. Let me tell these jackasses about the Anti-Money Laundering Act. I am not educated in accountancy. I am not educated in business. I am educated in disciplines that will enable me to understand legislation, but make me understand bills that Parliament pass. The Anti-Money Laundering Act was enacted to stop illegal gains, illegal funds being funneled through financial systems, and then it becomes legal asset. What the Money Laundering Act does, it says to a car wash guy, Why are you banking $50 million? Okay, fine. We will accept this $50 million. Please show us proof of address, place of employment, bank statement. Now, if the guy doesn't have any of these documents, the bank say, if he commits a crime, where can we find him? We don't know where to find him. If he is a car wash guy and his employer says he earns $40,000, where did he get this $50 million from? These jackasses at the banks and the insurance company do not understand you're dealing with the movement of money. That is what the Anti-Money Laundering Act is about. It's to stop the movement of illegal money in which the banks are unwittingly conduit. So the bank, the Western governments, particularly the American government, say, we go to stop the proceeds of drug money, because when these people sell their drugs and they get $50 million, they go and bank it. So the Anti-Money Laundering Act was to stop a guy coming into the bank and banking $50 million. If there is no movement of money, only a jackass that you find in the banking system, that you find in the insurance company would apply the Anti-Money Laundering Act. If there is no movement of money, for God's sakes, how could you ask that person who is not putting any money in the bank to meet the requirement of the Anti-Money Laundering Act? Let me give you some example. We'll go back to my daughter. When your bank account is dormant, it means you were busy, what have you. You got your little 50,000 hit like me. It's dormant. You go to renew it. You have to meet the Anti-Money requiring Anti-Money Laundering Act. You have to get proof of address. You have to state your place of employment. There is no movement of money. The account is dormant, and all you have to do is show your ID and they renew your account. How could any jackass apply the Anti-Money Laundering Act to an all 80-year-old couple who had some bereavement in their family, couldn't renew their account, and they have to meet the Money Laundering Act? I ask you, in all honesty, if there is no movement of money, how could you tell people to meet criteria A, B, C, D? But guess why they do that? I don't want to curse on this platform. I am an intellectual, I'm a father, I'm a husband. I don't want to descend to the level of cursing. But jackass is acceptable in journalism. And I've been practicing journalism for 35 years. The jackass in the banking system, the jackass in the insurance companies do not know how to apply the Anti-Money Laundering Act. So they say every customer that come into the insurance company, every customer that come into the bank, they tell the tellers, apply the Anti-Money Laundering Act. Let me give you a second example. And they know I'm coming close to using 4-letter words, but I know Akash will stop me. And I know my wife is going to read the riot act to me. My wife went to close her little pittance in NBS. They asked her proof of address. So I said to the lady, don't be stupid. Proof of address is a requirement of the Anti-Money Laundering Act, so they could know where you are. When you put in this illegal money in the financial system, the police could find where you are. We are now severing our relation with you. We would not be putting any money in your institution, so you don't have to worry about movement of money by the Kissoons in your institution. I told my wife, do not meet that requirement, and I went up to the CEO, and he said, No, you don't have to get proof of address. For God, I don't believe in God, but for God's sake, man, how any banker in show can be such a jackass? You're closing the account. There is no movement. There is no movement of money. The Anti-Money Laundering Act is to catch suspicious movement of money. And that suspicious movement of money is in the hundreds of millions and the billions. 3 people got charged for money laundering. Did you see how much they were accused of laundering? More than $10 billion sent to China. Who is going to launder $2 million? Why are you asking people, the vendor who work all month and put you $4 million that you sell your food every day to those oil and gas workers? Why are you asking her to meet the requirements? Well, which property your grandmother owned? That is for people who are laundering hundreds of millions of dollars. And I am surprised that Vice President Jagdeo, who has jurisdiction for finance and who's a no-nonsense man, I am surprised Mr. Jagdeo has not read the Riot Act to these jackasses in the banking sector and in the insurance company. Now, Akash has a car. The operators in our will soon have their cars, and they have to meet this requirement. Now listen to how people should be called jackasses in the insurance companies and in the bank. My daughter has to pay $3,500 to renew her old car. Do you know how much money I pay? Do you know how much money I pay? You can take it out. Do you know how much money, I don't know, but Akash, she will tell us. Do you know how much money I pay for my internet yearly? I pay $137,000 yearly to GT&T for internet blaze service. You know, GT&T has never asked me in a year for proof of address, bank statement, to identification. That's for $137,000 a year. My daughter is paying $3,500, and she has to show GCIS to proof of address, including her bank statement. I'm asking you, if you are anywhere in this country, if you don't see that as asinine and stupid, and the banks continue to do this for year in, year out, and the government and the Bank of Guyana is allowing them to get away with this sadistic masturbation. How could you ask somebody whose account is dormant to meet the Money Requirement Act? They didn't move money. The money in the account was left there. So it's not suspicious. The money gone dormant. What are you doing with it? The money hasn't moved in your account. For God's sake, how could any country behave like this? It's worse than a banana republic. Look, you have the proof. My daughter has to show the insurance clerk at GCIS her bank statement. Very, very private thing. What is... I sat down with Gildari here on this program 2 years ago, and I said that we will get money flowing from 2028 and we're going to become a developed country. But are we going to change? Why is GCIS asking my daughter to produce her bank statement to renew her 35-year-old car?
And 2 forms of ID.
And 2 forms of ID. It's the jackasses in the insurance company and the jackasses in the banking sector. And have you ever seen how these big rich bankers in the commercial banks we have and insurance companies, how they live? They have huge bank accounts outside. They live in multi-billion-dollar houses with swimming pool. So they don't care. But guess what? They're accountants. They have degrees in banking, so they don't know 1 pint of parrot piss about the Anti-Money Laundering Act. You ask them to understand, you put that act in front of them and ask them to read it and understand. They don't, all they know is figures. They're accountants. These jackasses you have in the banking system do not understand the Anti-Money Laundering Act. If you bring any piece of legislation in Parliament and ask them the extradition law, the law relating to security, the law relating to hire purchase, they don't understand it. All they understand is banking and insurance and accountancy. I am saying with graphic absoluteness, I don't think any banker in Guyana, from the top to the middle layer, has read the Anti-Money Laundering Act and understands it. So what they do, they just loose the banking system on poor people. The rich people don't have to go through that. The rich people know the banking guys. It's the poor vendors, the teachers, the soldiers. Where you get this $50,000 from? So my bank account is dormant. Well, you have to get 2 pieces of ID, proof of address. That is what they have done. They have loosed the banking system on poor people. These people are nothing but quintessential, pure, unmitigated jackasses. They are hurting people and they're creating nightmares to people. My wife went to NBS to close her account, and I swear on my parents' grave, there were 3 people, different wickets. And if you saw those people were behaving, man, why are you doing this? If I had known this, the banks in this country are hassling working class people and lower middle class people. And this has to come to an end. Why should my daughter? Do you know how much I pay in water rate yearly? I pay $12,000 a month in electricity bill. That's $144,000 a year. And GWI do not ask me for proof of address and 2 pieces of ID, and I'm giving them $144,000. Why is the bank asking people for pieces of proof of address, ID, for their own little saving in their account when it goes dormant? A big official, a big lady in her 60s who work all her life. The lady when the thing was dormant, and she holds a big position in the financial system in this country. The lady thing went dormant. If you see the requirement, they're asking the lady just said, y'all keep it. And guess why it is wrong? It's the misapplication of the Anti-Money Laundering Act to the lady, to my wife that went into NBS. How can any person look at what my daughter received? How could any human being on planet Earth read the Anti-Money Laundering Act and ask an 80-year-old woman whose little savings become dormant, and she went to reactivate it, and she has to meet a whole set of requirements that these jackasses in the banking sector and the insurance company have placed on her. And they don't care. They don't seem to care. Akash, you have no problems.
Freddie.
We have no problems if your neighbor that you know doing gardening, and he goes to the bank with 25 million. Man, that is reasonable. Where you get the 25 million from? Well, how you can ask people that, what's a million, you know, which is $1 million, Akash? It's 5,000 US.
5,000 US. Yeah.
You know what you know what money laundering is? It's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of US. And Akash, it isn't going to stop, Akash.
Freddie, this one, I know this one really took a, but somebody once said that when they go to the bank, the only thing is ask you for is some of your great-grandmother used clothes to bring it for DNA testing to ensure that you are indeed a descendant of Ramnath and Muhammad.
Akash, you know, when you buy a car, My insurance is 6,000. Akash, I drive carefully. I've been driving
I think I
to
pay like
Dunkerque.
8,000 or something.
How much?
8,000 or something.
I never knocked on anybody. You 8,000. I am 6,000. When you buy a car, my car that I have now, I went to GCIS and I insured for 6,000. You know they bought an anti-money laundering form to me
For 6,000.
but you don't understand, Akash. And money laundering is the movement of
That's
money.
right. Yeah. It's total, the total
It's a
misinterpretation.
So-
well, it's not misinterpretation. That's a total look. As you said, it's nonsensical that these institutions.
The law say you have to insure your car.
Yeah.
When you give that insurance money to the insurance company, you have no control over it anymore.
Yeah.
So how you could be accused of laundering for paying your premium?
But because these institutions are considered financial institutions because they deliver.
You know, I am so worked up. Akash.
$3,500 man. She got to carry 2 forms of ID.
Akash, I have been a daily columnist for decades. And I have relentlessly pursued this thing with the Bank of Guyana, spoke to the...
But Freddie, we've been trying to invite people from the bank to come on the show. And nobody...
I invited him. He said because of his status as a public servant, he can't come on the program. I invited Dr. Gobenganga.
Recently, we tried to invite somebody from the banking sector. That person couldn't make it. I don't know what happened. Apparently, the banking people are afraid.
They're afraid because when we bring the Anti-Money Laundering Act to them and ask them, could you explain this? They can't. These rich bankers in the banking system in Guyana and in those insurance companies, do you know the insurance companies have unlimited liquid cash that they don't know what to do with it?
I'll tell you something, Freddie. If you're going to put $200,000 in an account at the bank, they're going to ask you, where you get this money from? And a couple of questions, right? Do you know that if you go to the ATM, you can take that same cash, put it in an envelope, press a button, punch in a figure, and it goes in, and nobody asks you anything. So isn't it like a double standard of some such?
Listen. Oh my God,
Freddie! I know. Before you get your pressure go up on the show tonight, drink some water and keep calm. We have a few videos to show. I know the viewers out there are they're looking at you and they say, man, you don't want to blow a gasket tonight. But
I have seen people cry in those banks.
There are young people.
I'll tell you something, Akash. Let me say this tonight before we go off of this topic. Akash, if I was 20, 25, I went into UG when I was very young, and this was going on. Akash, the action I would have taken as a revolutionary youth, I would probably end up in jail. I would not have tolerated this if I was 25. I would have got my friends and we would have done revolutionary things. This is an abuse of people's rights and freedom. This is an abuse of my daughter's right and freedom.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got videos to show.
Freddie, but before you go on, there is nothing wrong with with revolutionary action to take matters like this up. You know,
I'm too old now. If I was young and this Anti-Money Laundering Act had come in, and the banks and insurance companies were using it against my class, the working class people, I know what I would have done. I know what I did when I was a youth against Burnham. I could say this: I secured violent things when I was a youth fighting Burnham, So, look what my daughter has to go through. For a car that is 35 years old.
Yeah, there's a PHH car.
Yeah.
Wow. Sad. Callers, viewers, I'm always saying callers on Friday night. Viewers, thank you I see the numbers are very high tonight. Thank you for joining us, wherever you're joining us from tonight. It's a fantastic Friday, wherever you are. And it was a rainy day here today. And we have a few things to show you quickly before we get into the calls. We're going to open up the lines very, very shortly. First one here we have on the screen here. This is the Brigham Cathedral, it's a Brigham Cathedral, in the background. Now, if you look at the traffic light, you can see only the red light showing. These people, regular ordinary people, they're going to put up these posters of the dance and so on. Nothing is wrong with that, but you cannot put it where it obscures the traffic signals. So nobody know when the green light comes on. They don't know. This can cause major accident. And this is this is Brick Dam and Camp Street. This is a major intersection. And this is what was done there. Somebody posted it, so we pulled this up. Now the next video I want to show you is something that Mr. Kissoon and I discussed with the town clerk. And this here has to do, Freddie, you
put it on the screen.
Yeah, let me put it on the screen and you do a narration on this here, what exactly is happening here.
Okay, look, we start from the Bihari residence at the junction of UG Road and the Atlantic Highway, or the major highway. Look what the Biharis have done. On this parapet, right down, you can't use that parapet. Now, Akash, get back where the car is. Look, anyway, no, go. Look at that car that is parked there. Look, get back the car.
Yeah.
If that car is broken down, you realize the congestion that car will have on UG Road. Mm-hmm. When you're broken down, you shift into the corner. Look what the Biharis done. So you can't shift in that wide parapet. Now the Biharis them have a huge mansion. So when guests come to them, 20, 25 cars could go in there. Why you preventing a owner, a citizen of Guyana who owns that parapet? Why you preventing them if they break down to just turn it to that parapet? Now, let's go to see what Gafu company has done. They have a huge apartment complex. Look what they have done. You see how long this track is? Look what Gafu has done. They've continued what the Biharis have done. Look.
They put pipes.
Look, huge. So if you break down, or if the police chasing them, you cannot. That's the parapet. And that's not the parapet that is blocking the entrance of the Biharis or Gafu complex. That's the people to, reverse. And when you have the two things to note there, look how long it goes. Right at the traffic light at Railway Embankment in UG Road is the head office of Ramakrishna. When they have their functions, people can't park there because there's no place to park. Secondly, where the Biharis and Gafu put those things, on Easter, you should see the crowd on the seawall in Easter. People can't park there.
Yeah.
Now, we should have showed you a clip of what the town clerk said. The town clerk said, people have been given permission to landscape the parapet, but not to prevent parking or not to own it. What is happening in this country? People have owned their property and by extension own public property. What Gafu and the Biharis have done there is to possess own a whole stretch of land from the old highway at the traffic light right down to Railway Embankment. I mean, you hear what is going on in this country. I wish I was younger. You hear these young boys who are trying to make a living can't put the dog food stand on the carpet. Poor people can't sell a little dog food on the parapet. They're moving them. You can't encumber the parapet. But look what is happening. Look how some people, we should show you what happened in this very street, Looney Street, and the corner of Peter Rose. We showed you that last week, and we will continue to show you these things. The town clerk said that is wrong. We have asked the town clerk to go to Bihari and go to Gafu and move those things off the parapet. We've asked her to do that.
The next video we have up here, this is ridiculous. So this pavement you're seeing here was built by the government to, so that students going to UG and other places and so on, they can walk.
For pedestrians to walk. Yeah.
Right, anybody can walk because there's a lot of traffic in this area. And you got the Siripati College of Education, the University of Guyana, thousands of students you're talking about. Now, this is the pavement, but if you look at the pavement here, you're gonna see it's broken. Now, based on our understanding and looking at what's happening, the way thing to happen, just what, because on the other side there is no way for people to park and to pass easily. The trucks had to drive up on this one side here and break the covers, if the drainage covers. If you look on how it's broken, it's broken about 3 or 4 of them, and it's broken in the same place all the time. Look, it's broken here again. Then there is another one. It's broken there again. And then this one here, this is the last one that's broken, and then probably the truck drove off. Now, you know what this is? How irresponsible can we be? How irresponsible can we be to... This thing was provided for people to be there, and now look at the situation we're faced with, Freddie. How can people do that? Now, I just want viewers to know this. I read one of the comments last week that said that myself, Akash, and Freddie, we're showcasing the negatives in Guyana. No, we're not. We are showing things that needs to be fixed and things that needs attention. There are many wonderful things happening in this country. You know,
but that person, look, I don't want to continue to speak about
right.
that.
Well,
people would say all kinds of things.
No.
That person didn't see what we have showcased that the First Lady has done.
No, look at this here. Now, Freddie, since since you probably know yourself, well, it can be so long this has been a problem. But since I know myself going in Georgetown, the sewerage system around Guyana stores and the post office, it's running over. Let me show you this video that I took yesterday. Look at this here. This is the raw sewage foaming through the manhole cover, and this is between Guyana. This is between Fogarty's and the post office. This is just one area that this is happening. You know what the health hazard this is posing? For me, these things are simple things that should be fixed.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Could you call that lady, please? Lady has a problem with noise nuisance and more. Yeah. We got any more videos?
One more I want to show. Now, I want to show you something here. This is a little. This video is the Wakenham's telling. It has been like this forever since I know this. But I want you to look at the skill level it takes to drive on and off this stelling, and look at some of the people when they're walking off this thing. Freddie, look at this. You will not believe this. Look at what's happening here. Look at this.
When I go to Wakenham, I leave my car.
Well, check this out. Check this out. Look how far they gotta lift this stage up. No, this is not something negative I'm saying. These people got real skills.
Don't worry with that person. Look, people would say all kinds of things.
No.
I'm saying, them get into your head,
I'm saying that this here is not something negative. I'm just
don't worry with whoever said that.
The skill level. Look at how high they gotta lift the stage up. Right? Let me see, 6 men, and they're gonna lift a wooden stage up, right? Okay, let's go forward. So, look, people are gonna try to come down this thing. Look, Freddie, look, this man gotta walk down, elderly man, right? Watch, somebody gotta hold, that man had to hold his hand for come down. Look, this woman gotta walk down this stage. By the time she reaches the bottom, she's gonna pick up speed because why? Look. You see? Look at the cars when they, look at this thing here. Isn't that a disaster waiting to happen?
I'm telling you this, at my age, I don't have that skill. Look at that.
Yeah. Look.
I am not driving my car through that.
Look.
Well.
Those people are custom, I guess.
Yeah.
But look at this canter, look the stage bending, Freddie. Anyways. That skill, that is real
excuse
skill.
Me. It's anyway, not anyways. Let them don't bring that American thing here. We say anyway.
All right, so callers, our lines are open.
Could you call that lady? The number I give you.
We have a lot of calls coming through.
Call that lady first. She's been, and more is. All right.
Have a good night.
Good evening. You're on the air about your noise nuisance problem and the reluctance of Enmo police to deal with it. Hello?
Yes. Good night.
You're on the program. You're on the program.
Yes. Good night, Mr. Kissoon.
People are viewing you in and out of Guyana. Are listening to you.
Yes. So I'm living at 4th Street Falls, Housing Scheme.
4th Street Falls, Housing Scheme.
And that's on the east coast of Demerara. So what happens? You have this gentleman who plays his music. I'm not saying he does it every day, but he has different hours he plays it. He plays it sometime during the day. He plays it in the night, and you could anytime in the night. If it's 11, it's 10. That's if he puts it on. He starts very slowly. They would turn up. So we would have called the police previously, and we got some action. At the time, nothing was happening. Last week, this isolated incident on Tuesday. So he had it on when he returned from work, which is like minutes to 6. He had it on for 5:30, and then he took it off like about 6:30. I said, okay, give and take. I see like 7:30 now when we went to settle in because we leave home from 7:30, and we return till 6 o'clock, so we need that rest. We travel in. That's my husband and I, and then we have a small child. So you have full leave from last 6. We call the police. They said they coming. I said, okay. That was like 7:30. I waited. Now this is 4th Street. You're coming in the street, you can see who coming in and who going out. So I'm looking through the window. No police. I called them again. They said they're sending the patrol. I waited. I called them again. I actually ended up calling them a 6th time. The second to last time, the officer, like he was upset, he said, okay, Jeep coming. My husband also made contact with them. Nobody didn't come. You know, it actually stopped when these people, like around 10:30, these people like were ready to turn in. Now, I have a small child. Something you come home, I can't listen to very loud music. This thing is blaring into your house. It's my back neighbor. And this
It's noise nuisance, which is a problem in Guyana.
so,
And the
this thing
EPA has...
this thing just shaking. So I used to the rest of the place up on the District 9, and the place was quiet. So when I come into this zone here now, I am from work. I work in a quiet area. I can't sleep. In fact, the next day, I can't even get to cook. I get up at 4:30. You can answer 4:30 every day. And then you return home at 6 o'clock. We need that rest. And the only thing left is to confront this man and the buying of the alcohol.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do
what
that.
happened with the pandit because my husband is telling me, don't call the police. They are not going to help. I said, who are we going
But
to
the
call?
police have to
Who are
help,
we
and the
going to call?
EPA...
And please don't. 4th Street Falls is not far from the Enmo police station, which is right on the road. It's a stone throw. So even if they said they can't come in 10 minutes, they could come somehow. So
Yeah. I know where the Enmo police station is. Listen,
and they didn't come because I am watching through the window. They never came.
please call them again, and please let them know that we are going to call them. I am going to call the Enmo police station. I should have taken...
So what you found is that this gentleman, it's 2 of them. He has one person in front of him, his opposite neighbor. Now, it's like, what do you call it? I don't know if it's a competition. No, they're taking turns. So if he plays it this time, the other night, the other one, no. The other one...
Song clash. They got a song clash.
Yeah. So the other thing why you don't get any sort of stats after that guy is because he's very wealthy. He owns a business in anymore. So I don't know when the police come because of his status or he's bright.
Yeah, I will tell you what when you finish. I will tell you what I saw today.
And I am tired. I don't know. I tell my husband we gotta sell this place.
No. I am going to talk to the Enmo police station.
I'm being honest with you. My husband, we are getting panic attack from this thing. This thing, I'm worried. Okay, this guy can put this thing on tonight. He can put this on tomorrow.
Yeah.
I am
You don't know where. Yeah. I know.
And it affects even my work.
I think what we said in this program, the government needs to have a program like this, and then that secretariat have a set of researchers, and they go to that man and they go to the EPA. But anyway, madam, thanks for coming through. Probably the guy is very influential. If you know what I saw today, after your phone call. I will describe on the air what I saw today.
Thank you for coming through, madam.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Bye.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am.
Hi, good evening. I'm calling in connection with an issue. Hello?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're hearing you, ma'am.
Yes, I'm calling in connection with an issue. I was at G&J's yesterday to buy some MMG. I wanted 40,000 MMG. I had $20,000 in 10,000 respectively. The young lady refused to sell me the MMG. She's saying that when they take it to the bank, they have to pay when they take $100 notes in stock. Now, this is a big established place on, I think it's Mandela, right? And they are refusing. I could not get it.
That's illegal. That's illegal.
Yeah.
They can't refuse legal currency.
It says that on the note.
But no, if you go to buy something, and if you go to buy something for 5,000 and all is in 20,000, $20, they can't refuse you. You could go to the police. But they also saying that they got a problem because when they go to the bank, so you see the program started tonight with the people, the jackasses who run the private banking system in this country. But the people are saying, look, when they go to the bank charging them. So, I mean, you have a problem and the people have a problem too, and the problem is created by the bank.
Yes.
I grew up in this country and I know you could go and change money. You could go, my mother-in-law ran a supermarket and I've been married for 46 years to my wife. So I'm familiar with the supermarket for 46 years. And she used to send me to the bank to get lesser notes. And I just go into the bank and get lesser notes.
Yeah.
The world is, this country is becoming crazy.
Yes, yes. He's saying to me, go and get the money, change at the bank, and come to them with
Madam, there is a banking system in this country that I think is more powerful than the government of China, the United States, and Russia put together, the big countries of the world. You imagine a man, whatever his name is, Singh or Blackman, he has a huge business. He has an account at Scotia. He takes a check that he got from Scotia and he writes a check for his employee. When that employee goes to Scotia, Scotia is saying we don't change checks for people who don't have an account there. That is not the point. They're changing the check for a customer. The man has an account there. He has Scotia checks. So he pays out money that he has in Scotia Bank to people. How could Scotia say that they're not accepting the check from somebody who doesn't have an account? It's not the account that is the issue. It's facilitating the check owner who has an account in Scotia. The banks do everything that they want to do in this country. I tell you, madam, I have been around in politics and social activism for about 56 years. I've been a journalist for 35 years, and I have never seen anything like what the banks do in this country. The president of this country, people criticize him. People say he can't do this and that. Every day you read the Starbucks news, people criticize elected leaders. People criticize the police chief, and nobody can do anything to these jackasses in the banking sector. Madam, I don't know what could be done to help you. Thanks for coming through. Let's take this call.
Caller, good evening. You're live on air.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
The comment I want to make, I saw this thing with the ferry service. I also saw the parapet for Bihari and Hogafur.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. If Freddie this me, I'll bring something
You're breaking up.
Yeah, we kind of lose you a little bit.
Yeah. You're breaking up, sir.
Yeah.
No, you're breaking up. You want
You want to try calling back,
call
please?
again in another phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, we lose it.
Oh
shit!
Hello.
Disconnect the call.
You gotta tune on your volume. We're hearing ourselves speaking on your phone.
Hello?
Yes.
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm
Good evening.
calling in connection with the blood bank, the lab at the Georgetown Hospital. Now, when you go, they say you have to go to your clinic in the area that you're living. Then they would, if you need blood tests for like cholesterol, your sugar, your heart, they would give you a paper to go to the Georgetown Public Hospital, which is free, to have it done. For the past 3 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you go to your clinic, you're not getting, the doctor, when you ask, tell them, well, no, I'm getting a pain in my stomach, or I feel my heart is not doing well, feel my cholesterol is high, or my sugar is high. I need a blood test. They would tell you, well, probably these are the things that's happening from the symptoms you explain to them. That you need a blood test, right? But we can't give you a paper to go to the Georgetown Public Hospital because the lab is out of order. Come on. We are preaching every day good health system. How can an old pensioner pay getting that money to go to a private institution with $20,000 for a blood test? Is this fair to the Guyanese people? At the big Georgetown Hospital over 3 months?
No, man, something is wrong there. The labs are out for 3 months at the hospital.
And when you call, they say I must call the lab. Keep calling the hospital. When you call, they say they're only doing in-house emergency. They've got a small lab that is only doing in-house emergency, not for the general public, the clinics and
I'm
things
sorry
like
to
that.
hear.
Ma'am,
sorry to hear about that,
what area are you living in? If I may
Calling
ask.
from Kitty for a pensioner.
Okay. Have you tried going to the health centers around that area?
No, she said she went to the health center.
Yeah, Campbellville, because Campbellville has a very good system there also.
No, but what I'm saying, I'm not complaining on the health centers.
Okay.
She complained about the Georgetown
Right,
Hospital.
yeah.
The health center sent her with a paper and she can't get a blood.
Yeah.
You see the doctor, very efficient, very up to date. But when you tell them your symptoms, what you need, they will say, well, okay, you have to get a blood test before we prescribe something to you, right? Now,
Yeah.
in the same breath, they're telling you, we can't give you a referral to go for a blood test because the lab at the Georgetown Hospital for the outlying areas like the clinics and so, right, are not working. You have to keep calling them.
When this happened to you?
This happened last 2 weeks.
And the labs are not back in order?
No, 2 months ago it's down, and until today it's down.
You see, this is a problem. We have to, Akash and I, we don't get sponsorship for this program. We take our own money and use it. We have to call the minister, we have to call the hospital, and after a while it takes a toll on your
I know that.
So somebody listening to this program should be able to help you, madam.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a pensioner.
It's not me alone is suffering, sir. It is not me alone. There are lots and lots of old people that go to that place, those health centers and those clinics. And those people.
We're gonna try to reach out. I'm gonna try to reach out to somebody hospital and find out exactly what's happening.
I call a certain individual, and they say they will call the CEO.
Mm-hmm.
When you call his office, you never. He's always in a meeting. Some of these CEOs and these high authority, they're always in a meeting. I don't know what they're meeting for because
I wrote a column. Look at that, madam. about 15 years ago, I wrote a column about important people always at meetings.
Oh, I'm glad you know. That's them. They're always in an important meeting. Can you take the summer return? Never. And I was happy to see that you had the CEO of the Mayor City Council. She did a wonderful interview with you all. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was very impressive of her. And people like her has to come out more and talk. Because if you have access to her, there are people in important institutions that you don't have access to. I'm telling you this. You cannot call the CEO at the Georgia Hospital and get him. You can't call the minister office and get them. You can't call the PS and get them. You can't call the people at the agriculture ministry and ask them for an advice. The officer is not in office. He's in. I said, could you please give him this number and ask him to return a call?
Madam,
things what I'll be paying for.
Madam, you see nothing yet. You know what I see every day in this country. When I call the relevant people, I can't get through. I see a terrible piece of work done in the national park. And it has been up 6 weeks now. I'm trying to get the PS of the Ministry of Culture. Left my number, left my name. A dangerous piece of work done in the Ministry of Culture in the national park. I can't get on to that lady at all.
All right, ma'am, thank you so much for coming through. Let's try to take a few more calls.
Akash, I would like you to, I see that you do some filming. I would like you to come on the railway embankment behind the gas station. Fred probably might drive through there and come through Kitty. There's vehicle park upside the...
I heard about it. Somebody mentioned it to me, yes.
I know about it. I pass there all the time.
Right, and the other thing, there's a mechanic shop in Pike Street, right? They take over the road, they went to the bearing ground, and they put up the thing, the tent to do the mechanical work.
I know about that. I know that area very well. I know that area.
They don't have a toilet facility. They don't have no with no fire extinguisher or nothing. And you call the fire department, you call the EP, and nobody's doing anything.
All right, madam.
Fire start.
The usual
Thanks for coming
story.
through. Yeah.
All right, thanks for coming through. You got a call in?
Yeah. Hello, caller, you're on air.
Hi, Akash.
Wait, hold on. Hold for me, please. Yes, go ahead, please.
Hi, I'd like to you and Mr. Freddie Kissoon. How are you guys doing?
We're doing fine, man.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. I think Freddie was working up himself just now. I hope that's a fresh shower.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good. Now, all that Mr. Kissoon is talking about you have to get certain amount of requirement before you could get your insurance. It's the same thing when you're applying for a firearm license, which I did. You have to get a medical, you have to get NIS compliance, GRA compliance, proof of address, what business you're doing, how much money you handle, income statement, a whole list of things. A big envelope full of all the requirements. You went through all of that. You have to go to the commander interview you, you send somebody home by you, a police officer.
And you're a businessman, right?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Check out your premises. Make sure that your premises is secure for when you get this fire. When I tell you, it's a couple months this thing is set anyway. You don't apply it. Now you apply over a year and change. Now you don't hear about anything from these people, you know.
Wow.
It is when you call now and you're finding out whereby if you think that you think done actually process is down to the bigger boss now. There's the bigger boss, so you have to okay the thing now. But you can't go to the bigger boss with a too long hand. You have to work with something. You remember now you don't went through all these things, you know, you don't qualify for this thing. I should think so. Now when you go to the bigger boss, you can't go with the too long hand. You have to work with something in your hand. Well,
No. Be careful.
Right. Yeah.
Don't go down that road. No, don't go down that road and get us into trouble.
Yeah. No. I don't want to do that. So, it's the country is designed like that. The system is designed to stress you out like how Mr. Kissoon gets angry. Now, the white people get on worse than that. I mean, I totally agree with Mr. Kissoon. And I'm a Freddie Kissoon man, but I wish if this program could have lasted for 5 hours and let Mr. Kissoon carry on all the time about everything that is bothering people. I know I tell you, because we could only call and complain and satisfy ourselves. But at the end of the day, I don't think satisfaction will come. You understand? Because it's like throwing water and dog back as your grandmother used to tell you. Or you got ambulance, you got in a bleed. How do you want to touch your skin?
What type of business are you in?
I don't want to disclose all of that, to be honest with you, because...
fine. No problem, sir.
No victimization at the end of the day.
No problem, yeah.
No problem.
I got the first time I applied. This is the second time. I applied with the Farmer Commissioner, Mr. Persaud.
Okay. All right.
And the thing expired. They say after 2 years it expired. Well, the April ago was 1 year. So,
Well, listen what I'm going to say to you, right? Persist with what you want in life. Don't give up. Don't give up. There are many people, millions of people who persisted in what they want, and today we know how great they are. Just persist, right? Don't lose.
Thanks for the advice.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Another thing we want to talk now about this money laundering thing, what Mr. Kissoon was speaking about. Money laundering is movement of money. That is so true. You can't launder money with a government account.
So don't get me more worked up. Take care.
The place hot in here right now. Is it there? You know. All right.
No.
Hello.
Hi, good evening. Am I on to the Freddie Kissoon show?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I was trying a very long time. Finally, I'm getting through. Anyway, I'm calling concerning, you guys was talking about those areas where things is parking and people can't get to park and so. I sent a picture on a WhatsApp number you guys have on the screen. I don't know if there's the right number.
You sent it? Yeah. We'll show it now.
What was it? What's it for?
Is it
Eccles?
Right?
All right. That's the That's where this big excavator.
I don't know what's the name of that thing. If it's a high
It looked like a crane. It looked like a crane. All right. Let it operator put it up, please.
Yes. That thing is there for the past several weeks, right? It's in Eccles New Scheme, Classic Drive in the street. When you come now from that corner where the new masjid built, I don't know if you know where the new masjid.
Yes. I know where that is. Yes.
Right. So when you're coming from that street, coming now for turning to Classic Drive, there's that big thing there, right? It's like if anybody coming with a speed, you know how these drivers nowadays days what's going on. And they come with a speed and turn, that thing is right there. I send the video, you could see actually what's going on.
Yeah, one car can pass there only at a time.
Right? Now night time, they don't have any reflector or anything on that thing.
That's very serious.
What was a piece of old iron they got there, man?
No, it's a big thing. I don't know, but the thing
I know.
I like how the lady said no, it's a big thing. That's a huge thing, Akash.
Yeah.
You gotta change the glasses.
No, but I'm saying it looked like a piece of old iron that they can't move from there. Derelict?
I don't know, but there's an eyesore and also it's very dangerous because you driving and you make a turn. We can't remember the street there. And you turn in while. Look where you be reaching up to. And it don't have any reflection.
I shouldn't be laughing, madam. I shouldn't be laughing. I apologize.
No, that's okay. I understand.
No, it could be dangerous.
Blocking up the road, right? It's dangerous. My husband is a big person. When he's driving, he's nice now. Remember now he's driving, you gotta focus on the road.
Yes.
When he turned, now if he turned in a wild way, what happened there? We kind of have no reflection. If he got blackout.
Yeah.
You know, it's very dangerous and nobody's doing anything about it.
Worse yet, if somebody don't know that area.
They say they're not responsible for this area. I gotta call housing, right? Now when I call in housing, I'm not getting through to anybody to speak. For finding out, because the NDC in Eccles say they're not responsible for the new scheme. Them in Eccles, they're not. They didn't take it over yet. I gotta call housing.
So who owns this?
When I call in housing, I don't get through. Yeah, they don't. They say they didn't take it over. So any problem we see in Eccles, and you try to call the NDC, they say they're responsible for these areas. You understand? I'm living here now for the past 5 years. And, I pay my own garbage collection and everything because the NDC is not responsible for the area. I clean my place and everything, right? So, it's concerning because remember now, we living in the area, want to be safe, right? And now if anybody turn, it's just a disaster waiting to happen until something happens. then they're gonna
that is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You have a disaster. You have a disaster waiting to happen on UG Road. We showed it, and we're going to show it next week. That is what is going to happen.
I tried to call you guys since last week, but wasn't getting through. But finally, I get through.
All right, ma'am.
All right.
Thanks so much.
And then when Mr. Freddie was talking about a bank, it's true. Those banking sector and everything in Guyana is real corrupt. It's like you're scared. Now, if you want to go and open an account in a bank, it's like you got to carry your whole family and everything, background and everything to open a bank account.
No, but that's not the problem. That's only part of the problem. If you open the account with $80 million, what one can understand. If you're opening the account with 200, if you're opening the account with a little 500,000 or 700,000,
Freddie,
that is money laundering.
Once you open the account with $10,000, they want all of that. $10,000, they want all of that.
If you got the Western Union,
why can't someone? You mean to tell me the government cannot do? The government can. You know, I tell you what.
Spending money, and they got the information right there. Who send it and everything.
I can't understand.
So you want to send a little raise back now, Phil? If you got your family over there and you want help out.
I want you to when you come off the air, I want to tell viewers what President Donald Ramata told me about this anti-money laundering.
Ma'am, thanks for coming through. Okay, I hope that your situation is highlighted and there can be some fixing to this.
Mr. Freddie said with the insurance company. Now let me say I had built my house, and now I want to insure my house, and let me say I want to put X amount. Now they're gonna want to know what all these things we talking about. What happened to his daughter?
Anyway, madam.
All right. Madam. Thanks for coming. Let's take another call. All right.
Okay,
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Caller, good evening. You are live on air.
Good evening, sir. I would quickly like to touch on the banking system thing. The world needs to take a page out of India. The Indian banking system is probably the best in the world.
Okay.
The Indian banking system is the only country in the world that could have opened bank accounts for 500,000 people in one day. And that's compliments of the we call it the QR code stuff, which is a brainchild of India.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Guyana can take a page out of that.
Well, I doubt that. This thing about the banks have been going on a long time, and it doesn't seem to me that it will stop. If it is so sad and so tragic that you would thought because of its exigency there would have been some intervention to get it stopped. You can't have a public servant just join the public service, banking a little money, and he got to go through whole. So you know what is really asinine about it? Is the lack of common sense, sir. How could somebody who joined the police force and go to bank their 10,000, how could that be related to money laundering? It is so ignorant.
It is very ignorant, Freddie. It is very ignorant, and unfortunately, it has been it has a cultural practice that as you said, it might be impossible to remedy.
But why you can't go to the bank with your ID and put in your little 1 million? Do you know what is money laundering? They charge some people with money laundering, sir, and guess is how much they accuse the people of laundering? Over 10 billion. And you have to meet money laundering requirement for 10,000. So thanks for coming through. Thanks, and
I have one other thing I want to touch on. You guys spoke of the dangers of going on where people were traveling using boat boards and stuff like that. I mean, I recently came back from Guyana where I went to the Essequibo coast.
Mm-hmm.
And go on to the ferry. There was this old wood bridges or still very, very, very dangerous. And I would plead with the authorities to improve on that because I am not going back on that system, boss.
Yeah, it takes as the guy say, you got a belly to drive all over that thing, right? All right, sir. Thanks for coming through. Let's take another call, man.
Take care, man.
Yeah, good.
Love
Thanks for
you
coming
guys.
through. Bye.
See what the man said about India?
Yeah.
Country with 1.3 billion people, you could easily open an account. I'll tell you what President Donald Ramatar told me about that Money Laundering Act. I don't think Guyanese people know. That thing is affecting the business environment of this country, and it's keeping the working class people down. It's a very repressive thing.
Yeah.
It's a very repressive thing. It's hindering the development of small business.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, caller.
Hi, good evening. My name Freddie. Made a on this program here regarding banking system sometime back in the Bank, where the supplier paid with a check from a Sukubu, and they were asking for a bank charge.
Oh yeah, that was about 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yes.
Nothing has changed, so
You know when you go to Republic Bank to change a Republic Bank check, if you don't have a Republic Bank account, they charge you $1,500?
No Republic alone, only bank them does it.
Oh God.
And if I tell you something, Bank of Guyana told me when I made the report, one of the clerk at Bank of Guyana told me, said that the banking sector locally, they regulate their own charges and they decide the charges. Bank of Guyana don't regulate that.
Stop there. That is why I have said on this program that I cannot accept ferry taxis charging $100 more and the government stop them. Minibus charging $100 more. If the bank could charge you what they want, why a taxi driver can't? Why a minibus man can't increase his fare?
And the funny thing is that the bank, apparently the local private bank, they regulate in the industry, not Bank of Guyana, not the state regulating. They're self-regulated. They decide what they want to do and how they want to do.
I will tell you this. One of the most influential businessmen in this country, who's very close to the government, very close. I never forget the evening. It was on the lawns of NCN on Homestretch Avenue. This is what he told me. He told me the Bank of Nova Scotia is a law unto itself in Guyana. That is how.
I don't think them alone. I think all of the banks in Guyana does this, and every branch interprets the Anti-Money Laundering Act independently. Like for example, Republic, as Akash mentioned. You go to Linden branch, they have a different interpretation from the Yarstrong branch. Every branch have a different interpretation. So it's not even standard within the same bank.
Okay.
That's how crazy they are.
But I cannot. So I'm telling you, I fought my whole life for this country. Everybody in Guyana outside knew what I've been through.
Yeah, and I want to say something.
And I cannot understand why nobody is dealing with this banking thing.
Yeah.
And I want to say something controversial. I don't think the government is willing to regulate the banks. They're not doing anything about it because you've been complaining. I have complained. Many people have complained about this. Year go, year come. And it's the same situation continuing all the time. These people are allowed to do what they want to do and how they want to do it.
Hey, the sweet bird of youth has flown from me, sir. But if I was that radical UG student I was at 23...
Well, I am not that young too, but I am still willing to do something different, but not radical. And the other thing,
I've always been a radical person.
Yeah, I already mentioned about the parquet, but you forget your good friend Bang DIH.
Oh, I did that, and at least it was helped. I see they removed the cones.
But the whole stretch there, I know you can't even.
They've moved the cones. But I tell you this.
You can't go there and stop there.
Oh, they still I know they had moved the cones.
Yeah, but the cones doesn't mean that they don't put you out from there. Remember,
no, they can't stop.
They ignore the traffic chief.
They can't stop you from the pub. Yeah, I tell you what, that thing with the traffic chief has got me frightened, and I'm glad I'm at this age, so I wouldn't see what is happening in the future. They ignore that man, eh? Banks DIH ignored.
Yeah, but the duplicity about it, they were quick to run to court for get the vendors off their parquet, which they rightfully should do at Demico House. But they want to control the whole entire stretch there. Nobody can stop there for nothing.
Is it still going on there?
I don't see anybody stop on that stretch there, so I will have to assume that it's still going on.
So
you would never ever see a vehicle stop on that stretch there.
Yeah. I'm going to check it out. Good. Thanks for coming through.
You're welcome. Take care.
Before we take another call, let me read. Some people are sending me their messages, so let me read this quickly. Talking about noise, nuisance. This is what the residents who live close to Kitty Seawall have to endure, especially weekends, which starts 6 p.m. and until after midnight. On Sundays, it was until 1:30. Made numerous reports to the police. Music is so loud you can be heard all the way to Thomas Street.
I know, but that's
Thomas Street.
That's a section where you got those low life people that's running on the road. They're parking in the middle.
Another part said,
anyway,
good
let's
night.
see this call.
Talk about news noise. You don't check Sussex Street near the secondary school.
Good evening.
What's up, brother?
Hello?
Good evening.
Good night. This is Freddie Kissoon show, right?
Yeah.
Yes, my brother. Look, I want to comment something from the video that you show in Georgetown, the sewage overflowing and all these kind of things. Brother, let me tell you something. As long as PNC is the mayor for that town, Georgetown will remain a slum all days of his life. They can't change nothing. Georgetown is the slum, the biggest slum city got in this country, Georgetown. Because of the mayors, they want to do nothing. You understand? They will remain like that. And Kissoon, you be talking about jackasses, right? In the insurance sector and the banking system and everything. Boss man, let me tell you something. You know, see jackass here. People try to rig the election in this country 2020. Yeah? And until now, them can't go jail. Just imagine them judges, this what in this country.
Hold on. Continue, but be careful, yeah?
Don't call names, yeah?
Don't call no names, right?
I'm not calling no names.
Yeah.
You got people and
I know what you're talking about.
Look this thing what happened in Mandripo. This incident what happened in Mandripo when the police shoot some backers. And then people running up, beat up all and people rap and people is budget.
Yeah, but, I have a feeling. I have a feeling. I have a feeling. I have a feeling that we'll go through to 2025 election, and those people who are charged now, those people who are charged now,
they will still be out there.
They will still be out there.
Yes.
I think there's a way. Anyway, Saul, those thanks for coming through. Thanks for coming. We take your point and we understand your emotions.
But you know where the biggest jackass them there, right?
Yeah. Take care, man.
Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Caller, good evening. You're live on air.
Hey, good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
I can sense the frustration from all the callers tonight regarding the banking industry. But I like to hit on one thing. The two previous callers, and he hit it on the point, saying it's a cultural thing. We know we have a lot of egomaniacs in the banking industry in Guyana. This is historical. Since banking, everyone who has a bank job, they think they are way beyond, they're waving into cloud nine. And there is no regulations, there's no standardization. I would like you guys, if you can reach out to the Minister of Finance and have him on one of these programs one of these nights, or anyone from the
I invited him, Saul. I invited him, and he promised he'll get back to me, but he hasn't.
Freddie, I'm saying the country is moving forward. We are looking and focusing on a lot of the big things for development in this country, but we are missing these small things that are affecting the small man. And this is becoming very frustrating. So we need, can you allow me to finish my thought, please? Yeah. So I just want to address this, that we can't be looking at catching the whales when we are missing the small fishes here. We understand this. The bread and butter, people value their money, they value their efforts. And when you go to the bank and what I hear it's happening there, it's ridiculous. The other point I want to make, the previous caller who talked about, getting service from the public hospital in Georgetown, I take that with a grain of salt. With the equipments that they have installed at the in the laboratory at the Georgetown Public Hospital, they have beyond 2 times the capacity to handle the volume, and they have redundancies in that laboratory with the investment that was made in the past 2-3 years. So she needs, or that pensioner needs to question the clinic that they go to, that the doctor is saying that their equipments are down. Georgetown Public Hospital has a plan B and a plan C in the event that they need to serve the community. They can farm it out to the private laboratories. They can even send it out to Miami. So they need to really question these folks who are pushing them to the side. So we have to understand this instead of condemning the whole process and saying it's broken. There's a lot of investment that was made into the Georgetown Public Hospital that is there. But we can't allow these. Today, 2 of them, one was suspended and one was, I would say, his license was taken away from him. We got to start cleaning up the system that they're pushing these vulnerable people aside and saying, okay, the lab cannot perform your test, and they take it wholesale. So I just want to make the contribution. I encourage Guyanese to question these healthcare who are trying to put down the efforts. There's billions of dollars. Georgetown Public Hospital today has one of the most modern pathology labs in the Caribbean. The clinical have been modernized. We have the private hospitals have laboratories that the Georgetown hospitals can reflex tests over. So there's no, I take that, with a grain of salt, as I said, that they don't have the ability to do a test.
But that is why I asked her. That is why I asked her. She said for 2 weeks now, the labs aren't working. That's hard to believe.
Because listen, they're performing open heart surgeries. They're performing transplant at that hospital. It's unbelievable that people. I'm not saying that the pensioner, she had erred or anything, or condemning the system. It's fed at the ground level in these clinics and that kind of stuff. So we gotta be very careful with these things, and people they have to grow their quote-unquote balls to question these people. We have been taking it for too long at face value and accepting it, and we've been pushed aside. No, come on. There's a lot of stuff happening. There's facilities that have been improving. We have the healthcare system is growing, and we can't take it anymore from these doctors or the clinicians. They just push you aside and they get onto their phone to go on social media. I just want to say that, my friend. Have a good night.
No. Tata, wait, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah, I really commend you for that adambition. Yeah.
I would tell you.
I hope you continue to call us. I hope you continue to call us.
No, because I was partly involved in this project of helping in the modernization of the Georgetown Public Hospital. And so I know the capacity of that hospital and the capabilities of it. And we just can't say, okay, we have come a far way. We are not there yet. The modernization of the healthcare will take some time. But the thing is, the service at the community level, we really need, the citizens need to start asking these questions. Okay, let me go straight to the hospital and get my blood drawn here. They have draws. But guess what? The clinicians want to just push you aside and say, okay, next one in. No, today the medical council have suspended one of them and they have stripped one of their license. So we got to take these actions. People need to be outspoken and bring this to the attention of the authority. We have processes in place, and Minister Anthony, I applaud this guy for what he's doing, in partnership with the PAHO and all these, the U.S. healthcare system and everything. So, it's very, I feel very passionate about it when we allow our pensioners to go through this, because our medical personnel are, I think, honestly, that they're depriving our people, just push them a corner, although we have the facilities to do this. So I thank you so much.
Okay, man.
Thanks for coming, Joe.
Bye. Hello?
Hello, good night. Is this the Freddie Kissoon show?
Yes, sir. Good night.
Okay. I'd like to make a contribution towards the Ministry of Health.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, I'm live on here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I went to the Georgetown Hospital to do eye surgery. I was to do this eye surgery since last year, February. We had about 25 persons who had to do the eye surgery. We waited about 4 hours. Somebody come up and tell us that I am supposed to be getting laser surgery. they said the laser machine is not working. So I asked the guy how long it's not working. He said a couple of months. That they have to send the machine back to wherever they buy it, that they have warranty on it. I said that's why the company cannot send somebody in Ghana to look it after. And that was last year, February. Up to now, I haven't get a phone call from the hospital to do my eye surgery, the laser. So I don't know if that machine is working or not. Right? That's one. Number two, I commend the minister for housing, not housing and works, yes, yes, for the seawall removal of those people there. Now, I like to know when you're traveling Mandela from the cultural center on the left-hand side, those people who are selling on the roadside, if they have transport for those lands, those places that they're selling those barbecue and wash car and etc.
I know what you're talking about.
How come? Yeah, those people are selling there for years. It's like the Pleasant line top, and nobody moving them. Or those are exceptional, or those are the Guyanese that can sell, or they have transport land for those places. The minister should be knocked off, because he should be driving around like the president who goes around and get things done. You know, he should have been dismissed. Let me check all those roadsides and see who put up permanent building there and doing business. You know, he should be the one, and you must bring him up on your program, and he should be the one should be dismissed. The president should dismiss him right away on spot like Donald Trump. You're fired. You know, when you're traveling on that road there, and you see in the evening, you have a traffic jam there with those people who buy barbecue down there.
Yeah, I know. We take up an entire lane is taken up for that, indeed.
You know, and we're talking about Bihar and elsewhere. And the public roads, they have some places like people buy transport land there that they can sell, and they can live there and everything. And nobody can say anything about it. You know.
All right, caller. Thanks for coming through, man.
Okay, but call the minister and let the minister come on your program and let him tell him about that and let him tell you what's really going on.
Okay. Thanks for coming through, all right? Yeah. Caller, good evening. You're live on air.
Yes, good evening, sir. Trying for quite a long time. Yes, I got disconnected.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just going to make some points. When I look at the ferry service and you're throwing up them wood on the ramp, I'm 70 years of age. I saw that thing in 1960 when I was only 5 years old, you know. And look, after all these years, they're still doing the same thing. That's a new ferry, I guess. That's the one that came from India.
No, this is the Malali. That was the Malali. That was the Malali. Same old Malali. With a $200 bill.
Yes, but look, the 65 years is still doing that.
Yeah.
Is that the trajectory of development? The other thing too, when you show that thing on Fogarty's, do you notice there's some slight cutout in the cement there for bicycles? That was there when I was 60, also in my 60s. Don't they see that those holes there is an impediment for safe traverse? People don't use bicycles anymore. You know, the parapet on the other side. Maybe, I don't know if you guys can agree with me, that these for aesthetics, those are the PPP supporters. So the PPP wouldn't do anything to those people. But they would go after the guy who's selling bottled water on the road to make a living. So you see how they're looking for aesthetics. They don't want people selling the road. But at the same time, they deprive people of traversing the same road that they created. So the double standard there. The other thing with the banking sector you mentioned, when you can't go to the bank again unless you have an account. I mean, I see that happen in a lot of first world countries too. You have to open an account. But what a guy could do, he could first ask them if they have an account at this bank. And there could be a different method he could use to get these people paid somehow or the other. Thanks a lot, I appreciate you guys. You're doing a great work.
Thanks for coming through. Bye.
Hello. Yes.
Good night.
Good evening, caller. You're live on air.
Yes, good night. I was listening to the caller who was talking about the Georgia Public Hospital. how amazing it is and how modernized it is and whatever, right? It is very good. It is so true because we all know for a fact that this government is pumping billions and billions of dollars into the health sector and other sectors, right? And which is very good compliment for the government. But how are we managing? If you would for the basic facilities as the washroom, that is the basic facility that anybody goes in to the facility to use. You can't even stand up by the door. And if you can't doubt me, anybody else can substantiate to that. I mean, the government is providing the labor, the whatever. But how are we managing it? Who are we putting there to manage it? Are these people competent? This is the thing we need to ask ourselves. You put so much of billions of dollars, you're putting people there to do their job. The job is not being done, and everything goes back to the government, to the minister and to the government. Isn't that so?
Yeah.
Secondly, right, there is a road built in Wim Village on the East Quarantine Region 6. Has never built for 90 years. Or I don't think it was ever built. This government came and it was very nice of them to do it. But look at the contract that they put. Some part of the road has less than 1 inch asphalt. So they finished the road 2 days after not grass going through. My point again, yes, you're putting so much of money and the management is very bad. This is the thing we need to address. This government is doing very, very good things for people in Ghana. They're doing their best. You can't have anybody else move up. None other government can say they've done what this government is doing. But they're very poor in their management. We're not getting worth our money. Thank you, guys. This is what people need to look into. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks for coming through, man.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. We got a guy here saying, I'd like to highlight there is a vehicle junkyard with derelict vehicles at LBI Public Road. There are over 15 vehicles there. Whenever you and Freddie use the road, you will see it for yourself. 3 workshops there and buy scrap vehicles. So they buy the scrap vehicle, they park it on the road, and they leave it there. Whenever they need a piece of, they need a crankshaft, they take it out.
Hello? Hello?
It's off.
We lost that call. Yeah.
We have
a minute more.
A minute more. We take one more call. Let's somebody call in quickly. We're gonna take one more call.
If not, we gotta go. Yeah. We're over time. Oh.
So one more call is coming through.
Hello, you're the last caller, sir. Oh, madam.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
Now when people talk about public hospitals, we the citizens destroy it. Because I go there. Sometimes use the toilet, don't even use it properly. You understand?
Yeah.
You know, people destroy these things, sir. I can tell you about it. I'm not saying everything is perfect. You understand?
Yeah.
But if you don't care, it's how you don't care. You understand? We have to care things, buddy. If people want to talk in public, they must not talk it, man. They talk from the sense when they talk. I go there every month, and I can tell you about it. When you go to the place there, you have to clean it right away, buddy. Right away they're cleaning it. But people use it and use it bad. You understand?
The citizens.
Yes, the citizens use it bad. They got this Gaussian working it in there right away. So you come and say to somebody, come back and clean it. So the flushes are taking your hand out, I think. The people put a wire, put it, even flush it. How do you scan the wire to pull a wire to flush it? Thank you, brother.
All right, good. Thanks for coming through.
That's it. That's it. We've gone 2 minutes over our time.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling in. Thanks for making the Friday programs an interesting forum. Thanks for your calls. We have gone 2 minutes over time. Our operators have to go. We will see you on Monday. As usual, we will see you on Wednesday. We will see you next Friday. take care of yourself and be who you are, and don't be somebody that somebody else wants you to be. Have a nice weekend and catch you later.
Just let me say quickly before you go, Freddie, that it's raining a lot. We've had a lot of accidents. Guys, please slow down. Slow down, slow down, slow down. It's raining a lot. The roads are wet. Please slow down, man. We all got to get from place to place, but slow down. Take your time. Watch out for those who are not watching out for you. Take care.
Bye-bye.